In this video, I will show you how to create a window elevation, or if you don't want to create it yourself, all of these will be available at the top of the description. To begin with, I'll define the edges of the window that I'm looking to create. And what I mean by that is this white outer line. So to begin with, I'll define the outer edges of the window using the same layer that I would use for my walls. And it's important to ensure that the height of this rectangle as well as the width of the rectangle are brick dimensions, meaning the window can easily fit between full and half bricks. This means that the width, this top number, needs to be a multiple of 102.5 and the height needs to be a multiple of 75 millimeters. Obviously not everyone is an architect who works with these numbers day in and day out, so I've created this block which makes this process much easier. All I have to do is align my rectangle with the edges of these bricks. And just like that, I have a brick dimensioned width for my window at 1810. This brick template is also available to download. So now the overall width of the window has been defined a brick dimension. Now we need to make sure that the height of it is also a brick dimension, and this would mean that it needs to be a multiple of 75. So as you can see, the bottom of this bottom brick to the bottom of the top brick is 75 millimeters, meaning this needs to be a multiple of 75, and I happen to know that 1050 is a typical size, so I will just use that. And as you'll be able to see on these templates down here, we have 1200 as a standard length as well. So 1050 and 1200. I'm going to change this to 1200. But now that the overall width and height of the window has been defined at brick dimensions, it's time to start adding in the actual detail that allows you to register this drawing as a window. But first we need to know what kind of window it is that we're looking to draw. For the sake of ease, I'll show you how to create the easiest picture window first without an opener, and then we'll show you another one with the opening for the casement window. Almost every single window that you'll come across will have a sill at the bottom, and this is represented as a 50mm rectangle. So put in a 50mm tall rectangle in the layer that you will be using to show that it's your window. I have a Windows layer available within this document. So now that is the simple part done, although I like to ensure that I have my white outline around the window showing, so I'll select this and I'll bring it to the front. Now it's time to create the frame of the window. I'll use the rectangle tool again to outline the remaining space inside my window above the sill, and then I'll offset this by 50mm. If you're unable to select the rectangle that you just created, you can press Ctrl and W, and as you'll see at the bottom here, this toggles the selection cycling mode. And what this does is when it is selected to be on, when you click on a line that has another line below it, you see that we actually have the selection of the two, and we want to make sure that we select the blue one that we just created. And once again, I'm just going to select the white one again and bring that to the front. That way the whole outside of it is defined in one color. Right, now let's draw a window with an opener. So obviously to begin with, we're going to be defining the extents of our window. So I'm going to make this one a little bit more narrower because that is how these windows typically tend to be. And then we're going to be adding in our 50mm rectangle at the bottom again in our window layer, bringing the white lines to the front. And then much like before, we're going to create a rectangle around the remaining space above the sill. And then using the offset tool again, we're going to change this to 25mm. And this just brings it in slightly, and then after that, then I'm going to do my 50mm offset off of the new line that we created. And that is exactly how you show a casement window with a opener. This creates a small space around the edge and helps to define that this is in fact an opening window. If you found this helpful, then subscribe. I'll have more videos like this dropping soon. And once again, if you want access to all these blocks, including windows, doors, template building elevations, furniture, utilities, pre-made layers, and more blocks and hatches, then check the top of the description.